Now, many of you already know that the new energy vehicle market in China this year is expected to grow by around 34%. And this simply means that car or new energy vehicle car makers that comes below that figure, it means that they are underperforming. Whilst EV car makers or new energy vehicle car makers that come with the figures or with the growth that is more than that 34% or that over 30%, it means that they are doing well. And our very own Nio with that, you will know that this year they are expecting to grow their deliveries by 100%, which is something that is great. I mean, already we are expecting some improvements into Nio's deliveries year over year, which is something that is, of course, showing us that Nio has been improving. I mean, if you look at the total deliveries that Nio generated for Q1, which were around 42,000, those deliveries represent a 40% increase year over year, which simply means that Nio is already showing a good growth as we check on the overall industry growth, or they are already growing more than the industry average, which is something that is very, very good, right? I mean, this quarter, right? It is expected, or we are expecting Nio to at least get the 100% delivery growth rate, which is something that will once again show us that Nio is growing more than the industry average, which is very, very important and good, and it signifies that Nio is doing very well. Now, the reason why I'm telling you about this is that the figures from the 1st to the 27th just came in, right? And it shows that the total new energy vehicle sales that got generated from the 1st to the 27th are sitting at 728,000. This is down 10% from the same period last month, which simply means that the growth has dropped by 10%. And this, my friends, is not something that is good. But if you have a look into the growth that probably we've seen onto Nio, though the official results for April are not in, I can tell you already that the growth that we are going to see onto Nio, it's going to go probably over 60%. When Nio announce their deliveries tomorrow, trust me, we are going to get at least 6% of month-to-month growth coming from Nio, which is something that is great. And like I said, when you look into Nio sales this year, Nio intends on growing their sales by 100%, right? Delivering around 440 to 450,000 deliveries, as many of you already know that the deliveries that Nio reported last year came at 221,000, which is something that if they want to double that sale, it means that they need to deliver around 450,000 cars this year. Which is it possible? I guess we have to wait and we have to see. But the good thing is that Nio this year, they are anticipating, or they plan on launching 11 new products, which out of those 11, they have already launched 3. That is the ET9, that is the Firefly, that is the L90. Though the L90, they've done a pre-launch, but I mean, we have seen how the car looks like, which we can count it as the launch, though it's not. The official launch has not been done, which shows the price of that model with the battery as a service. We can all agree that the reception of all these 3 products have been so great. The reception, how people have been receiving the launch of all these 3 products from Nio, it's just so massive. And this is just 3 out of 11 total products that Nio intends on launching, or total models that Nio intends on launching this year. Under the Wholesale brand, you'll know that there's still the L80 that is coming, or expected to come, to be launched in Q4 of this year. Under the Nio main brand, 4 models are coming in May. We have discussed them, I think, for quite a number of videos. That is the ET5 Touring, ET5 Mid-Sedan, ES6 and EC6. There are also models that are still going to come from the Nio main brand, going to obviously June, July, and until the end of the year. Nio will just be giving us all these products, and they intend to launch 11 products as a whole. Now this, my friends, it's going to unlock some massive sales onto Nio. This, my friends, is going to make Nio to be able to do very well. And something that a lot of people are not talking about, which is very, very important, is that in Q3, a reminder about Q3 is that Nio is going to open a third factory. There is a third factory that Nio will be opening or will be starting to produce the cars or their cars from, which that the annual production, if my memory still serves me well, for that third plant, it's expected to be around 120,000, meaning that from Q3 there is a factory number 3 that is being introduced, which will have an annual production of around 120,000, which is something that is just so great, something that is massive, and it obviously makes me to want to load the boat. So the growth that we are seeing onto China, though this month in April there might be a decline in terms of growth month to month, but Nio, our very own, will be able to deliver around 60%, or will be able to deliver 25,000 cars. Chances are very high, which will represent probably plus 60% increase, which that, my friends, it's something that just motivates us to remain onto Nio. I think I made a good choice with Nio because apparently, if you check, I mean, there's just a page on Facebook that, of course, I'm part of. It's a Nio community page, right? So on that page, someone came and said, "Look, they've been seeing some massive inflows of new YouTubers coming to cover Nio, and they are seeing the light that we've been talking about when it comes to Nio, right?" Which is fine, man. I mean, during or beginning of this year, you will know that especially it was not many YouTubers that were talking about Nio. It was not many of them. I don't want to mention names, but obviously you know that I've been consistent with the Nio information because I've always believed that, look, we might not be getting what we want, but Nio is a company which is expected to do very, very well. So in that group, unfortunately, I was not mentioned as one of the people that have been consistently doing the Nio videos, and I had to go and say, but I've also been here. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I divert a bit. But yeah, the reason why I talk a lot about Nio, or I only talk about Nio on this channel, is because ever since I started investing onto Nio, I've always believed into this company because they continue doing some things that other companies are not doing, other car makers are not doing, and this gives Nio a competitive advantage. Battery swapping technology, it's one of the main competitive technology that Nio is doing that no one else is doing in the industry, right? Or in the EV space, right? And yeah, we know CATL are doing, but CATL does not sell cars, but they are battery producers. When you talk about the new energy vehicle car makers, no one is doing the battery swapping stations, right? Which is something that makes or gives Nio a competitive advantage, because many of you that have been on this channel for quite some time, you will know that we've spoken about the advantages, the positives that comes with battery swapping. And because of this, Nio is a company which is expected, or we can safely, Nio is a company that can do very well and outperform many of the new energy vehicle car makers in the future. So I am happy, man. I am happy with Nio's growth, though it might not be coming, no, though it might not be the kind of growth that we want to see right now, but Nio is a company which is expected to do very well, man. They continue doing so many great things. They continue doing some of the things that even some of the retail investors or investors don't really agree with. I mean, if you remember the very first time the new CEO came and announced that they were going to launch 2 sub-brands under Nio, a lot of people came in and bashed Nio for doing that, say that, why are you doing that? Don't have so many brands. And they said they are doing this because even other car makers that are successful today, this is the strategy that they've used. They used Toyota, Lexus, Suzuki. They used the relationship between Audi and Volkswagen. They used the relationship between BMW and Mini Cooper. I mean, the list is endless, right? There are so many car companies that have started as one brand, and now they've got multiple brands under them. Even BYD, you will know that under BYD there's Fanjiampao, there's also what's that other one? There are 2 other sub brands under BYD That's the whole motive why I'm telling you this. And now, Nio, after they launched or successfully launched two sub brands under Nio, people now are starting to see the light to say, hold on, the Nio CEO, this guy is smart. He has been strategic all along. We've not been seeing the light, and now we see the light, which is why so many of the people are still going to come and start talking about Nio, because the blue sky that we've been preaching, that we've been talking about on this channel, some people are, or even some retail investors are starting to see this blue sky officially coming, and it is always good that at least we get a lot of coverage. I mean, I'm not against people that are coming, YouTubers that are coming and talk about Nio because of what they see. I think the more people talk about Nio, the more people will get to know more about the Nio stock, about the Nio cars, which will obviously benefit also Nio getting a lot of attention to the countries that they will penetrate, which is something that is just so great, and something that at the end of the day, everyone will win. Even us investors, the more Nio gets to be published, or the more people get to know about Nio, the more sales Nio will generate. And the more sales Nio generates, the more profits, right? Which is something that is just so good. So just thought I'd give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. Nio is going to grow more than the industry average, which is something that is great, something that shows us that indeed blue sky is coming. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It takes me some time to make this video, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one, and God bless you all.